Oh, hello everyone. I'm TheTrue Gamer here, and today we're actually going to talk about a game for now. I know, right? The guy calls him the True Gamer. Doesn't talk about games that often, huh? I know, funny. And you see, I actually bought this recently. With Afro Samurai, the anime movie. I call it, I call it a movie, but it's really not. It's a miniseries, or you could technically call it OVAs. But no, this is a movie to me because more or less that's what it is. You could have cut off the openings and endings, conjunction them all together, and you'll be fine. And when I found out there was a game for this, I basically said, "Fuck yeah, I wanted to play it." So I bought this. Yeah, it's not a really. Yeah, I found it at those flea markets. Well, I wouldn't call it a flea market because point being, I found this, wanted to review it. Because you know why? It's a terrible game. By a metric ton. And besides, you're better off just watching this, or reading it. You know, I still haven't read it to this day. Maybe for my one-shot series. Who knows? But for now, we gotta talk about Afro Samurai, the video game. Which, please, developers, never call your games the video game. It makes your game look stupid by design. Afro Samurai. He's one bad mother who kill you just by looking at him wrong. But this game is just terrible. And is bad for all the reasons I really think it should not have been. Actually, fun fact, during my research of this game, or at least during some other thing, you know the game Splatterhouse? Yeah, that game? Yeah, that game actually had some ties to this. Yeah, some people forget about that. As you see, Surge, the company that made Afro Samurai, was also a part of the Bandai Namco, which is a subsidiary development team. And basically, this was formed afterwards, so yeah. Which didn't really make, or at least help them in any sense of the word, because they were, in my opinion, a bad team. And being forced to another game just hurt them worse, in some capacity, rather than actually helping to fix the game they already made, with updates, which this game never got. That's annoying. Long time ago in the ancient lands of... I have no clue. We never get a name. Okay, in any case. There are two mighty headbands. The one and the number two. Where one has the number one headband, they become like God. And the second one has the right to challenge the number one. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I just thought it would be funny, but no, it just didn't. Why? I don't know. And I actually don't think it matters, because thematically, it's about a story about revenge. What the revenge is about, or what the character is attaining, is kind of irrelevant in the end, when you start thinking about it. So, yeah. So, we follow Afro Samurai as he journeys to find Justice, the man who killed his father and took his father's number one headband. As he... I'm sorry, I kind of keep trying to make something up here at this moment, but literally nothing comes around to me because he's mostly a stoic character, except in one scene, which I'll talk about later, because he has no real character, and it just kind of annoys me because, at least in some regard, they have their own personality, their own wants and desires, and I'll put up a character here like Guts, who basically has his own personal reasons of why he's out for revenge. And it just kind of makes you feel like, why not tell us or give us some explanatory stuff about his own personality? I'm just saying, telling us something about him other than his want for revenge can always make us more interested in him and more relate to him. Because just saying he wants revenge doesn't really make us care about him. Just saying. As usual. Okay. I just basically sing the story to you, or at least the base idea of what's happening. So, I might as well just go into this gameplay, because the story's alright if it wasn't bogged down by the gameplay. So, wait, what is this game? Well, it's a hack and slash, and it's one of the easiest hack and slash I've ever played. And I am surprised by that, though, because this is, at best, decent at best. Well, because you got a light, heavy, and kick attack, which are equally broken as sin, because none of these are hard to do and can be easily button mashed. And mind you, this is a guy who loves the Dynasty Warrior games, just so you're aware that, as I state, this is easier than that, because the enemies are so easily killable, and I wonder why they didn't shatter in one hit, but bugger me. There are more mechanics, but why? Most of them are useless, except maybe the cut mechanic and the parry and the pounce, which that's actually 3 of them, which I'll go into later. And I mean, like, you only use these for certain events, like the cutting mechanic just to cut rope or do things like that to kill enemies like that, yeah. But there is no real in-depth here, and I wonder why the heck they bothered with it, like the cutting mechanic, because they also put a limiter on that too, where you need to charge it up, even though that would have been enough of a what do they say, a requirement? No, you need some part of your jewel, I know that sounds weird, on your sword to charge up properly just to actually use it. And if it's all black, you can't use it. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, because it makes no sense, because you're limiting the player in a way that makes absolutely no logical sense. So again, I wonder, why? Why at all? Oh, yeah, and it just kind of came to me while editing this. There's a mechanic called body poker, and it comes into no play whatsoever. It's not needed, so I'm wondering, why is it here? It's a mechanic, and it makes no logical sense whatsoever. Had to put it in here, my apologies. There's a level system in this game. You know, that sounds awkward because I had to add this post, because I forgot about this, in all honesty. Mostly because it didn't do anything except give you new moves, which I tell you, again, aren't important, and it makes me wonder, why bother? It keeps the gamer from actually thinking something's happening, and it just makes them more annoyed when they find out that it's an actual useless mechanic. And it's not helped by when the gameplay is more or less getting jarred by everything else. Because let me tell you, this game runs at weird points. Like, I'm borrowing somebody else's gameplay, Hack, and I can't remember his name. I'll put it up here for a moment. But my point still stands that this is a better version than pretty much I've heard from everyone, that the Xbox version has been the best. But damn, does this game run slow at times. I don't edit my shit, I don't do anything, and I tell people, it's unbearable. Unbearable. And the game becomes even worse when I deal with the bosses. But that's for later, because, good lord, I have to talk about the music and the sound design for this game, because it's important that I do. Yet there is not a lot to deal with here. The music is alright, but again, at times it's horrible. And if you want a good example of what I mean, I'm talking about like at young Afro time frames where you kind of go back in time, or at least go back as him, and you hear this bad rhythm, which I'm going to play in the background during this entire moment, because I want you to understand how annoying this is. Where it goes like da 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 da. Just imagine hearing that for a good hour or so. And I'll tell you, you would rather kill yourself. And I don't want to hear it. Honestly, I would rather kill someone right now. But the annoying part is, there's actually a lot of good songs here. Like, I don't know, When the smoke clears, I love it. I like, and I always make a point of saying I listen to soundtracks as I'm editing this. So, yeah. So just so you know, yeah. The rest is fine. Again, like I make a point of saying like more of this soundtrack is in the middle because of the two extremes of bad and alright, which is never a good thing because if you hit those dynamics, a player can just get annoyed and not just enjoy it, which will cause them to not like it. And also the sound design. Oh my god. Everything sounds so bloody. Like, hear that? How that feels jarring to everything? That's how jarring it is. Everything sounds like it's off something else, and it's like trying to put it somewhere else. And I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. And the voice acting, and you know what? The voice acting does not even bother to match the lip flaps to it. And yes, that is annoying for those who look it up. Actually, now thinking about it, let's actually talk about the voice actors. It's actually great, mostly barring a few times the game loads, because that's where it gets annoying and it just goes through this filter of sound, you know what I mean? And the character speaking in this wispy voice and like also where she's in this annoying child voice where it's just annoying as hell when you have to pick up health item, because she will make that sound every time. And I hardly ever did need them, mostly because they're useless, maybe except in a boss fight, and that's rarely. I mean, seriously? Actually, now since talking about the boss fights, I might as well go over them. They're mostly piss easy. Most of them. If you want a good example of what I mean, well, I have a personal controller. It's a very big controller for my big hands. And I have an auto fire on it. That allows me to basically press it and hold that button down, going like, pew, 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 pew. It's really helpful some game. But my point still stands that it's a terrible mechanic where I can just do that automatically and not actually lose. Because like when you use auto fire, you risk the chance that the game is gonna fuck you over with it. But here, nope. Nope. Like, the robot flying in the air boss fight, I basically expanded on him, and I just won. Like, no, that's not an ironic joke. That actually happened. And a few other boss fights. I can't remember. Like, the bridge samurais, where you have to fight 5 ones where you have to parry them. No, you don't. You can just spam your R1 slashes and just deal a lot of damage like that. I again just make the point of saying this game is pretty much broken, like I keep on saying. And like there was only a few boss fights where actually there was a challenge, like the flamethrower boss fight, which was only annoying because I just again didn't find it, or the Kuba fight where again all of these are still easy. It's that they won't allow you to spam on them. So, yeah, that too. This game looks alright, but it looks terrible at times too, with enemies that repeat like a lot. I mean, like seriously, I don't mind when games repeat assets like Yakuza. I mean, like as long as they don't reuse them in the same fucking room. Like, I don't know, they could have like made a bunch of enemies and just copy and paste use them again. Or at least make a joke about... Or wait, actually, because they repeat so often, they actually make a joke about this and I can't find it anymore. Though it could be like that Mandela effect shit, where I'm just thinking I'm remembering something but I didn't. But no! This shit keeps on repeating. And it's annoying. And again, like I said, I don't mind repeating as long as it's used to build on something. And like, Yakuza reuses boss fight data from pretty much all of them. But I don't mind because they're reusing these and actually building on them. So, yeah. But also, there are a lot of glitches. Like, so many. And like, they just look Terrible. Like the hair physics of Afro and Ninja. Okay, why, and why? He looked terrible. He looks so off, especially Ninjas. It just looks terrible. And yeah, I might as well go over the thing I actually did like. Like, there was a scene I was talking about earlier that actually built Afro's personality. And let's talk about that. Yeah. Here's the scene that I was talking about. And you're probably all wondering, why did I enjoy it? It was because it was the only scene where he just actually goes out of his way to say something. Not like, oh, shut up. You know what I mean? And it's just so annoying that I wish they could have done more with this, or had more in the game overall. But no, they decided, nah, let's not. And that's always annoyed me. I just feel like this game had a lot of potential, and they just did not care a lot. And I might as well go over the ending. After, like, you find Justice's body, who he's actually been dead, you kind of find an illusion of him, which is actually a really long boss fight, but again, really easy as hell. I repeat. And, like, at the end, it kind of goes like this whole thought of, well, this was pointless. And he just kind of goes over the edge and throws the headbands away. Even though burning them would have been like a better option, by doing so he could have made sure that this process never happened again. But, you know, whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I get thought on this game. Yeah. So, what did I think of Afro Samurai? No, I really have to explain that. It's a shitty game. The music is good, but that's like borrowing from it. It's like in spite of itself. The graphics are terrible, the gameplay is barely average, and the story, you could just watch the fucking movie. And that would be more effort of your time, and a better soundtrack too, by the by. So, don't buy this unless it's like $5 at best. I'm the True Gamer here, and next time, I don't know. I make these so rarely that hell if I know when the next one's gonna come out. Quick shoutouts to Hack/MB for letting me borrow his footage. I mean, thanks, man. I know this is at the end, but this was like literally the only way I could have put it in that actually made it sound natural. Sorry about that, and again, leave a link it below. Thank Kim. So, yeah, see ya.